Vegans Retro Remix.
Please welcome to Calling All Vegans, a woman who is the epitome of an animal rights activist, Ingrid Newkirk. Thank you very much. So before we get started, we did just want to wish PETA a happy birthday as it turns 40 years old this very month. I did get a cupcake on the way here. Blow it out, Ingrid. Make a wish. Oh, beautiful. Woo! Nice. Now,
Thank you. Human beings are so averse to change.
Oh, yeah.
I was in the Seattle airport and there was a little jar on the coffee place, and it said, "If you don't like change, leave yours here."
Can you tell us a little bit about your dog brother, Shawnee, your parents' first child? Was there any sibling rivalry between the two of you, or you actually liked your brother?
Funny enough, maybe it's an interspecies thing. I adored him, and I think he loved me because we were basically inseparable. And he had a big wicker basket he slept in when he wasn't in my bed. And when he was in his wicker basket, I went and slept in the wicker basket too. We both, the claim to fame for us is that we both used to get car sick at exactly the same time.
You're kidding.
So my mother would look back and see both of us going, have to stop the car, we'd both get out.
It's like twins having that empathy for one another, that interconnectedness.
Rumor has it that you used to like to steal the dog biscuits as well, though.
Oh.
True. And I don't think they were vegan. But, today you can get, of course, vegan dog biscuits.
Yeah, for sure.
I found them quite tasty, so he and I would share them.
Maybe that's why you were both barfing in the back seat at the same time. You both just had a biscuit.
That could be it.
Why is PETA the organization that so many people love to hate? I think you might have actually touched on some of the reasons why.
I think there are several reasons. Obviously, we are deeply despised by anyone who uses animals in any way. And they have come up with sometimes pretty clever ways to fool animal people into thinking, oh, they shouldn't have anything to do with PETA. One of those things is the PETA kills slogan, which people think, oh, do they really? They kill? I mean, we euthanize, and it's a mercy, and it's, if you look at our website, you'll see what we do, and no one should ever turn their back on those animals. But the other thing is, we are very frank, we're very forthright, we don't sugarcoat much, and so we show people the things that they don't want to see, they turn away from. And I do believe that embarrasses a lot of people. They don't want to be affiliated with it, associated with it. So they'll say things like, or they'll write letters to the editor where they say, now, I think such and such is very cruel and shouldn't be done, but I'm not one of those PETA people. I don't care really. I mean, as we say, we're not in it. It would be lovely to have everybody's support. As long as people are supporting ending cruelty to animals, they don't need to support us.
Yeah.
I mean, we love the support, but we're not here to win a popularity contest. We're here to push the envelope.
Anywhere there's money involved and animals, you know that the animals are going to get the kind of shitty end of the stick, right?
Absolutely. I mean, and they're involuntary participants. Yes, anytime there's money, people are going to cut corners, they're going to drug the animals, they're going to abuse them, keep them in the smallest cages, the tightest chains, the most lousy, cheapest living conditions. And they didn't volunteer for it. They have lives they want to live. Let them go.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, if they could stand up and say, yeah, sure, I don't mind doing this, that'd be fine. But the fact that they cannot give us that permission, it just makes
you
it
have to think of, I ask people, if there's an animal in the equation at all, just ask yourself, you look at Cirque du Soleil, they've got fabulous acrobats, high wire artists, fire eaters, you name it, it's extraordinary. Every one of them is a volunteer. Every one of them can go home at the end of the day.
That's right.
Every one of them gets paid. They can retire. I mean, they're not kept on chains or in cages and dragged from city to city. They're making a living. That, if you see an animal being used in any way, a jacket collar, a shoe, to test a cosmetic, anything. They're not volunteers.
What do you say to those who criticize PETA as being exploitative in the use of scantily clad or naked women to get media and public attention? I know you've never heard that question.
I say there are different levels of feminism, and maybe I'm from an older version, but we did just abandon our I'd rather go naked than wear fur campaign. We don't need it anymore. But the thing is, don't tell women that they need to dress or keep dressed or they can't go naked. That's up to the woman. And every single one of our women, including me, is a volunteer. We want to use our bodies for political purposes or anything. That's our business. If you want to take all your clothes off, go on.
Yeah, well, and that kind of must stem from your sort of wave of feminism from the 60s that kind of informed your decision on that for whether to use nudity or not.
Yeah, it was a bra burning time in the 60s, and we marched for women's rights, for daycare, for equal pay, and so on. And people called us, oh, those bra burners. And so if we use that in order to get attention from people who are attracted to that, then I think that's politically savvy.
Job done, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. I'll just say, did the lads get equal time and get naked for the cause? And did Ingrid ever get naked for the animals? I know you have, but I have to ask the question.
Yes, and you can tell that it's not sexual. If the objection is, ooh, that's using them sexually. About 7 years ago, I hung from a meat hook in Smithfield Meat Market in London next to the pig carcasses. And this wasn't, in any way, no one can say it was sexual. I'm 70 now. I looked like the poor pigs. We were the same color, and the only difference was I wasn't decapitated.
Yeah.
And it was a heartbreaking thing to do. And we have used males who have volunteered, and frankly, almost no one ever cared.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
What is a Newkirk nugget, and what's the significance of this?
Sounds tasty.
It probably isn't at all, but and not for vegans. But when in vitro meat, some 18, 20 years ago, wasn't on anybody's radar, I heard about this professor in Holland it was his dream. He had been in World War II, and he had seen what happened to humans, and he had seen the atrocious treatment of animals who get caught up in war. He was a dyed-in-the-wool meat eater, but he wanted something that would taste like meat, was meat but didn't mean torture. And so he started cell culture just in this tiny way, and we supported him. And that was way back when. Then we decided we've got to put this on the map and encourage scientists. So we did two things. One was we offered $1 million prize to the first scientists who could come up with test tube real meat, chicken meat, because 1 million chickens are killed every hour in the United States. So we made it $1 million prize. Yeah. And everybody covered it in the press. Scientists felt, oh, maybe this is a thing. And then later, to keep it alive, so to speak, we decided that we would offer Newkirk nuggets, which is when I die, you can take chunks of my flesh and fry them in a pan with garlic and onions. People will smell that cooking, come on over and go, oh, what's that? And they'll say, oh, it's her. And the idea is we are all sisters under the skin. Sisters and brothers under the skin.
That's right.
I suppose you're taking it to the next level when people say eat me.
Yeah. This is the first time in my life I've not wanted to be vegan. I'm dying to try that.
Well, the interesting thing is that it would be a product of consent, and therefore would not be an issue.
There you go.
It's
no harm. So let's talk about your new book, Animalkind. What was your goal and motivation behind writing the book?
Well, the Animalkind is in two parts.
Yes.
And first part, I want people to see who animals are. That they are jaw-droppingly wonderful. They're emotional creatures like us. They love, they grieve, they don't want to be kept confined. They want their freedom. They want to make their own choices. They want to choose their own partners, for example. So I wanted people to see that how they navigate, using the Earth's magnetic field. They use low frequency radio waves. It's absolutely stunning what they can do. And then the simple things they do because they live in our world and they have to figure out how to survive in it. Yeah. Everything from the dog who waits till you've gone out, and you see this on YouTube.
I know what you're going to say.
Pushes the chair up against the counter, jumps up, opens the cupboard, takes the food out, and puts the chair back. To elephants who swim with their trunks above the waters, using them as snorkels, who can send rumbles 1 or 2 miles away to another herd, who can pick up a paper clip with that wonderful nose that can smell so much. That rats giggle, the motherly instinct of so many animals, what they'll do to protect their babies, the way calves are protected by their mothers on dairy farms, and yet someone comes and yanks them away.
Yeah.
So the first part, I do think, no matter how much you know about animals, you will be blown away by some of the things I discovered, because I was blown away.
Yeah.
And the second part is knowing who animals are and how astounding their abilities and their emotions are. What do we do to stop exploiting them even inadvertently?
Very good. Very clever way you did that, I think, actually.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to be at Ben McNally Bookstore at 366 Bay Street at 6 p.m.
Oh, and we're going to have... You're welcome.
Yeah,
and
my schedule is so ridiculous at the moment that I don't even know which country.
Well,
and there's going to be Stokes cheese, vegan Stokes. You know Tina Stokes, I guess, because you gave her an award. So her award-winning cheese is going to be there as well.
But she has a blue cheese, which I think is just after as well.
Absolutely.
Ooh, lovely.
Yeah, for sure.
Both Tina and Neil are amazing. They do such amazing work and are able to be so supportive of the animal rights community. They're awesome. So I'm really excited to be able to see them serving cheese at your book signing. That's going to be something to look forward to.
And I'm excited to eat it.
Well, get out of my way, sister, because we're both going to be...
That's it.
So, along with the book then, it does blow my mind that we have all these amazing creatures on our own planet, all these different species to get to know better and to learn how to communicate with. Yet we act like we're alone on this earth and we seek out life on other planets. It just, I don't know if you have any thoughts on that or...
I do, and actually I talk about that because there isn't a week that goes by that we don't see stories in the news about our search for other forms of life, intelligent life, they always say, on other planets. And yet, intelligent forms of life are all around us. And what do we do to them? We eat them.
Yeah.
We make shoes out of them or a belt. Or we sit on them and we put a bit in their mouth and ride them, or we do all these things to them. They are so intelligent. And just because they don't speak our language, and remember, we don't speak any of theirs, it doesn't mean that they're not communicating constantly. And in fact, if you think about it, your dog will bring you a dog bowl or bring you a leash to say, excuse me, can I have something to eat? Could I go out now? Because they know that you don't understand a word they're saying, but they found a way to communicate with you. Yeah. So yeah, intelligent life forms abound on Earth. No need to go anywhere else to look for them.
Exactly.
Hope when you get there and you find them, they don't eat you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, they may treat us the way we've treated the others on our own planet, right?
Absolutely. So
Stephen Hawking actually said that was one of his realistic fears, is that we shouldn't be looking, because if we deliver back to us what we've delivered to the other forms of life, we're in deep trouble.
Yeah, careful what you wish for there, huh? When I was a young activist, I was angry, militant, single-minded. As I've aged, even though I've tweaked my approach, I feel even more driven. I think mainly because I'm encouraged by the actual movement in our movement, and I feel my personal hourglass is running out of sand. Have you maintained your same intensity, or have there been changes over the years?
No, I'm probably as intense or more intense now because my clock is running out.
Yeah, I hear you.
I feel a little panicked. I've got to get so much done, and I wish I was smarter, faster, had more ideas. but I'll give it my all.
You are.
I do think, though, that young activists perhaps underestimate their value. And I don't want them to wait until they're my age or 40 or something to figure it out. Every single person has the power of the purse. It's so vital. Everything that they buy counts. Every person they speak to counts. They must say, I don't care if I'm embarrassed. I don't care if it's not the right convenient time for me. The animals can't say anything in their own defense. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to leave a string of material everywhere I go because people do pick it up. And when they pick it up, they say, that changed my life.
Yeah, you never know.
Get on it. Get on it. I love Indian food because I grew up as a child in India.
Yeah.
So I would probably take a dal curry with sambar and a samosa and lemon pickle.
Sounds wonderful. For those that want to purchase your new book, where are they able to get that, and what are contact details to reach out to you?
Please look at PETA.org for any resource that you want, whether it's against dissection, looking for clothing, cosmetics, charities that don't test on animals, whatever it is, PETA.org. The book is available obviously on Amazon.com. That's probably the cheapest. It's also available on other websites, Barnes & Noble. PETA.org has it. So yes, please buy it, not only for yourself, but for someone who might have a dog at home that hasn't made the leap to other animals. Yeah. Somebody who you know has the potential to be kind, but just hasn't got there yet. This book is for them too. Oh yeah, and I should say, please go to your library's website and request that they buy the book for the library.
Great.
They never know who will pick it up and what they'll learn about animals, and they may join our movement.
That's a great suggestion.
And we'll see you on the 19th here in Toronto. And
Hooray, come and say hello.
All right, thanks a lot. You have a wonderful day.
bye, Ingrid.
Bye.
Calling all vegans, Retro Remix.